Hey, Daily Dose, this is Pastor Larry here, and we're taking a look at parables of Jesus. And I want to share another one of my favorite ones. And it's the parable about a Pharisee, a religious leader filled with arrogance, thinking he's better than everybody else, and what was called a tax collector, which was basically a Jew who collected taxes from his fellow Jews for the Roman oppressors, kind of the scum of the earth, the lowest of the low to his fellow Jews. And so Jesus tells this parable about two of them going up to the temple. They're both Jews. One is a Jew that nobody wants anything to do with, and the other is the one that everybody looks up to as this is the epitome of what it means to be a godly person. Verse 9 of Luke 18 says this. To some who were confident of their own righteousness, and catch this, and looked down on everyone else. See, this is the trait he's going to talk about. Man, I don't look at God and compare myself. I don't take the scriptures and use them as a mirror to see what's wrong with me. I look at God up there, then I compare myself with everybody else and see how much further ahead I am. I take the Bible and I turn it into binoculars to see who's not living up to my standards. They were confident, like, hey, God's lucky to have me. And because of that, they looked down on everyone else. They had this pattern to meet people and not be positive towards them, but be dismissive towards them. To meet people and always assume the worst, not the best. To look down on others, which is what the Bible calls pride. Pride is not being the fastest and telling people you're the fastest. That's fact. Pride in the Bible is haughty eyes or looking down at others. So let's see what happens when our primary sense of spirituality is that God grades on a curve and I'm spending all my time judging myself by others rather than by the Lord, using the scriptures to judge others rather than judge myself. Here's what he says. To someone who were confident of their own righteousness, look down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. Well, there were two men who went up to the temple to pray, and one was this Pharisee, highly committed, deeply knowledgeable of the Bible, and the other was a tax collector. Well, the Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. In fact, I fast twice a week, and I give a tithe, a tenth, 1/10 of everything that I get. All those were facts. He says, God, I'm so glad I'm not like these people. The tax collector stands way back at a distance, and he wouldn't even look up to heaven. He's looking down, and he beat his breast, and he said, God, would you just have mercy on me? I'm a sinner. I got nothing good to offer you. I just need your mercy. And Jesus says, I tell you, this man, the guy who called out for mercy, the guy who had all of the wrong traits and looked to God for mercy, he says, this guy went home justified. That means made right in the eyes of God, justified before God. Why? For all those who exalt themselves are going to be humbled, and those who humble themselves are going to be exalted. You see, the Pharisee had quite a good resume and quite a good understanding of all he'd done. But the problem is he didn't have the ear of God. He didn't have the favor of God. Our job is to look to the Lord. Our job is to dig in the scriptures and to chase after the next step he's calling us to. And to look at others, not with a sense of arrogance or looking down, no matter how much they struggle, but with a sense of how can I reach a hand out and how can I help you in your journey, not pat myself on the back for mine.